Good evening, welcome all of you, Bande Matram. Here we have chosen the topic for discussion for this glorious evening is on ego versus soul. Very interesting topic. You know, ego, अहंकार, soul, जीवात्मा. सो आत्मा और अहंकार ये दोनों का बीच में हम थोड़ा डिस्कशन करने जा रहे हैं और वी वांट टू डिफरेंशिएट व्हाट इज द बेसिक डिफरेंस बिटवीन दोज टू. Exceptionally, we'll see few couple of examples and messages and descriptions from Sri Aurobindo especially, and we'll go for the general discussion into this topic. So, what really we know ahankar, ego? It has got the separative attitude. मतलब it just separates, it divides. Ego, its work is to divide. So it is almost the perversion of the jivatma. Ego is otherwise known as the perversion of the jivatma. Here it is actually this the entire quality, entire form, everything has been changed into the and distorted rather. So here we can find some differences, 14, so the difference, 14 different distinctions between ego and the soul. So initially, before going to the topic, I will try to begin with Sri Aurobindo's definition. Sri Aurobindo quotes, ego is the perverse reflection of psychic or jivatma. Very interesting. Initially, we have quoted here ego, that ahankar. Ego is the perverse reflection of the psychic or jivatma. That is what the basic thing, you know, jivatma or psychic being. It is in the original state. Its perverse reflection is ego. Again, what Sri Aurobindo tries to quote? Initially, ego was the helper, and now it is the path. With its help, you have now crossed into this type of this position where really you are. So far, this integral yoga is concerned. But thing is that now, at present, ego is the path. So again, here in the course, what we have to do with the ego? Slay the ego, learn and to see and feel vastly and universally. So once this ego is slain, you can find the world in its vastness and universality. So you can find, if once you have to, what you have to do? You have to slay the ego. That is what the initial requirement. Once this ego is slain, you can try to learn to see and feel vastly and universally. Everything will be expanded. That expansion will come. Ego exists in limits. Its existence is in limits and perishes by the loss of limits. Once this limit is crossed, then you can find there is no existence of ego. Like this, we can find couple of definitions from Sri Aurobindo on soul. You know, soul, the spark of the absolute divine. So Sri Aurobindo quotes here about the soul. In all but a few, the soul is seldom active, the most hardly perceptible. In it is there, very much dominant. It is present. Its presence is undoubtedly very much clear. Its presence is very much clear. It is there, but the problem, you know, a very few of us, maybe bearing a few. Few means the people or sadhakas who are like you. I don't know what is the number, but the thing is that it is very clear that a few of you have clearly seen and experienced it. Few, in all but a few, the soul is seldom active. Soul is active, but in a very few. In mass, it is not active because they don't know what is the soul. In most, hardly perceptible. This is active in a few, and in most they are hardly perceptible. You can't know, you can't perceive. Then Sri Aurobindo course, you know, spark of the divine already we have seen. Soul and psychic being are one or in other way, well, it is same. The soul is at first but a spark, and then initially it is a spark, and later when you keep moving you can find then a little flame of Godhead burning in the midst of great darkness. There is darkness everywhere because already we have quoted a few. It is you can't see, you can't perceive, you can't detect. They don't know really. In ignorance they live. So initially it is only a spark. Later we can find a flame of God, a little flame of God, Godhead, little flame of Godhead, and amidst what surrounding is that you can find burning in the midst of great darkness. Great darkness is everywhere. It is just burning like a small, a little flame of Godhead that is there. The soul is greater than man. You can find the soul is greater than man. Soul is not a compound but an integer. You can find individually. You can find it is not a compound. It is not a group. It is not a bundle. You can find one integer. So anyway, we'll go for this comparison right now. We'll see. We have got around in not superficially, inwardly, if you venture into this distinction, you can find some difference, basic differences you can find really between this soul and ego. Already Sri Aurobindo has explained categorically. He has explained that ego is the perverse reflection of the jivatma or psychic. So, psychic at the top, it is pure, crystal clear, enlightened, dazzled, splendid. There is no doubt about it. But its perverse reflection is the ego. We'll find distinctions. How can we try to, among the overall study, throughout study, we have got here right now with us is the 14 points that differentiate between soul and ego. So these 14 points we are going to discuss one by one. Initially, we can find point number one that is very hardly perceptible. We can see ego seeks to serve itself, very confined, very limited. Seeks to serve itself, no other. It sees nothing and no other but itself. So it has to be confined. It has to serve itself. It has to live in the bounds. It is the purpose. On the contrary, in the first point, soul seeks to serve others. It can't differentiate, it can't distinguish. It tries to serve others. That is the magnanimity, that is the glory with the soul. So, initially, soul, ego is confined, it serves itself, and the soul serves others. Second point, we are going to, for a distinction in the part, we can find second point, the soul seeks to the outward recognition. Sorry, ego seeks the outward recognition. Point number two, it is on ego. Ego seeks outward recognition. Already we have quoted ego as the helper, ego is the bar. So many ways we have differentiated, distinguished. So here it is on point number two. It brings the seeks for outward recognition, but so far the soul is concerned, it is for inner authenticity. It has got its authenticity, not superficial or outwardly, but inner, अंदर का बात है. So inner authenticity, there actually the soul seeks for that inner authenticity, but ego is totally superficial or outward motive. It has got, it is like outward recognition. So next we are moving forward to the point number three. So in point number three we can find the ego is the it seeks to preserve self, preserve self, confined, limited, bounded. It is confined to itself. It never cares for anybody who is there or for what they are doing. It has got absolutely no business with it. But the thing is that so far this soul is concerned, so it seeks life as a gift. That is, it feels soul finds the, it is seeks the life as a gift. जैसे आपको एक कोई एक गिफ्ट मिल गया, पुरस्कार मिल गया, प्राइज मिल गया, गिफ्ट मिल गया, ऐसे ही. सो श्योर डेफिनेटली इट हैज़ गॉट ए लार्जर स्पीयर ऑफ वर्क and a larger sphere of existence. It sees big, it plays big, it thinks big, it spreads big. but soul is totally not big, from bigger, biggest to bigger, bigger to, then it is being confined to a very little point where it is working right now, out of its own confines and limitation. And number four, you can find ego. Number five we can find, so it preserve self, and soul preserve others. It takes care of the others. And number five, ego looks outward. Whatever is seen, whatever is visible, it sees only, looks outward. But so far this soul is concerned, it looks inward. So every time, each time you, if you are that much interested to see or to think of the soul, you must be moving inward. That is what the requirement. Number six, ego feels lack. Something is lacking. Something is actually, it is not there, not fulfillment. Something is lacking. So it feels like that. But actually, the soul feels abundance. Abundance. It is in abounds. It feels abundance, not confined. So it is the great difference. Then number seven we are coming. Soul is mortal. No, sorry, ego is mortal. Already we have discussed it. It lives in limits, and perishes immediately as soon as the ego is at the limit, perishes. So ego is mortal, but the thing is that the soul is eternal. It was there, it is now here, and it will be there. Soul. Summed the drips of numberless parts, that is body, but the soul to the ego, soul to the spirit was the same. And all this conduction, rebirth, change, experience, growth, everything has been managed and organized by the soul or psychic being. So it is eternal. But thing is, the ego, it is living within limits, and it perishes once this limit is crossed. Again, number eight, ego is drawn to lust. Ego is drawn to lust, but actually drawn to love. Love. So, soul is drawn to love. You are actually, the characteristic of soul is love, light, truth, like this. But the thing is that here it is drawn to lust. Lust, because it has to perish. And number nine, you can see, ego seeks wisdom. Is to know, because I know I want to be brainy. I want to dominate the world. People will say things like this. So I want to read, I want to acquire, and all. It seeks for wisdom, but the soul is wisdom. It has not to search for that quest or seek for wisdom, because by the inherent nature you can find it is itself wisdom. And finally, so number 10 we can go. Ego enjoys the prize. I have run, I have competed, I have written the letter, I have given the speech, so I deserve something, prize. Somebody will come and console us, somebody comes and clap for us, somebody will tell and congratulate us. So it seeks for a prize. This prize will bring solace and satisfaction for this ego. But so far this soul is concerned, it enjoys the journey. It is a never ending story. We have to go. Small successes are failures of the soul. That's what Sri Aurobindo has quoted, and soul knows. If I will be confined to the small successes, it is likely my journey will be seized. So, enjoy its journey, because long way I have to go. This prize and all, these are all material, and these are all mortal, very confined. It will never satisfy my desire, and it will never fulfill my mission for which I have come. Again, ego is the cause of pain. As long as ego is there, you must be suffering. Pain will be coming, no doubt of it. So, suppose everybody is praising you, it is bringing some solace, some pleasure, some joy among you. But once if you feel you are standing, but people are going without looking at you, then you can find the pain. So, ego is the cause of pain. And so, far soul is concerned, it is the cause of healing. It consoles. Why are you worried? Somebody is not looking at you. That is not your headache. Live in the soul. Once you live in the soul, and your soul is coming forward, naturally that the fragrance will come. Naturally this fragrance will come. There is a rose you can find, and it is actually blossomed, and these bees, they are coming. It is not calling, but they are coming. So you try to express yourself, you try to bring out your inborn hereditary qualities. Something is hidden in you. If it is coming out, its fragrance is there, its beauty is there, its attraction is there, the people will come to you. Why unnecessary we are going? So it is the cause of healing. Number 12. We can find number 12. We can find ego. What rejects the God. Rejects the God. I am God. I am everything. So like this, it rejects God. But the thing is that so far the soul is concerned, it embraces the God. It knows, it sees, but mind only overlooks, claims, and overegos. So thing is that it embraces the God. And number 13, you can find ego seeks to be filled because it is always empty. It has to be filled. If you wish to install there the living presence, keep the temple clean, like this. So it needs to be filled, but so far this soul is concerned. Soul is eternal wholeness. Eternal wholeness. It was, it is, and it will be. So it is full. So because as it is full, no impurity can cross in, can cross in. But ego is empty. There is vacancy. So many loopholes you can find. So it needs to be filled. Sometimes good things are coming, and sometimes odds are filling. And finally, number 14, you can find ego is me, I, my. These are the things being recited again and again. But so far, the soul is concerned. Here, it is we, not the me. So together we gather, together we move like this. And finally, we can find we will try to conclude with Sri Aurobindo's remarks. Here, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully about the soul. Sri Aurobindo quotes, soul is the eternal portion of the Supreme and not the fraction of the nature. Eternal portion of the Supreme, not the fraction of nature. That's what you must know. That must you must know. So things are so far this soul and ego is concerned. In one sentence, we can conclude: altruism, duty, family, country, humanity. Five things here in the course. Altruism, duty, family, country, humanity are the presence of the soul when they are not instruments. So these are the things, five things, they have to be the instruments of the soul. If they are not instruments, they are pigeons of the soul. Thank you. It's a good discussion and good differentiation. I think it will be helpful to you specifically to the sadhakas. Vande Mataram. Dhanyavad.